Hi, thank you for watching a new video blog. Today I'm walking in the old town of Baku in Azerbaijan. Living in a tribe brings many benefits with it. In this modern age, we're all maybe forced to live by ourselves, as individualistic as possible, and this is not our natural state. Humans aren't supposed to live by themselves, depending on themselves. You can see how difficult these people have when they have to do everything by themselves. For example, they have to pay a house just for themselves. It's a lot of money in many countries. It's basically impossible to have a job and then to carry all these costs. It's a lot of stress to pay rent by yourself. If you share with more families, they also share the costs. Now you might say, oh, that's ridiculous, who is living with multiple families in one house? Yeah, I agree, living in a house in a city isn't very natural, but you can, for example, buy a piece of land with multiple families, build small natural like log houses there, and you can share the cost of that plot of land. Now that's very smart, and that is natural, because a tribe is not supporting only themselves, but they're also supporting other families that think and behave like them. A tribe is not only self-serving, it is also serving others. And that's natural. In nature, you are not only serving yourself. In nature, you will be helping others while helping yourself at the same time. That is very natural behavior. Just doing everything by itself, living individualistically, isn't very smart, and it's not very natural. What you can, for example, do with this tribe, so many benefits. Like I say, you buy this piece of land, build multiple houses, and then you can share things. For example, a car, or better, a horse buggy. That will be more natural, that will be better. But you don't have to buy a horse for every family. You just can buy 1 or 2 horses for maybe 5 or 10 families, and then you can share. And this lowers the costs, and this lowers also the stress that it involves. With keeping horses, you can also share the carrying of the horses. It's not only you that have to do everything, because that's a big issue for many people. They want to keep, for example, goats or horses or chicken, but then they say, yeah, what if I want or need to go for a few days? I'm in trouble, I cannot do that. And it's true, it's totally true. That's why you need to build a tribe. And I'm not talking about a community, because that's such a overly used word, so outplayed. No, I'm talking really about a tribe. People that believe in the same values, believe in the same religion, are very similar in multiple things. And in that way, they can survive much more easily than when you are all doing it by yourself. Also as a family. When you are doing it as a family by yourself, it is possible, but it's much harder than when you share with multiple families. Like I say, 5 up to 10 families, that will be optimal. There will be always somebody available to do something. Again, as an example, if you have animals, you can ask other families to help you out if you need to go, and you help them out when they need to go. You can make a schedule, you can work around it. And that is the benefit of a tribe. Or for example, what do you think about tools? If you need, for example, gardening tools or whatever kind of tools, you only have to buy 1 or 2 sets, because you're not using the set constantly. you will be using them, you know, maybe a few times in a month. So it's not very necessary to buy multiple sets. It's of course very smart to share. It lowers the costs. It also brings a sense of community because people know what you're doing at the moment. They start to know you better. The other families know, oh yeah, this family is using the tools to, you know, maybe grow some fruit trees. I don't know, they grow it to use it to, you know, get some grass done for their animals. So it is very useful to start a tribe. Multiple families working together. Saves you money and also saves you time. Because you don't need to do a lot of things that you have to do yourself. You can, for example, ask the children of the other families. You can ask, for example, other families, children of other families, to do little chores. And you can reward them with a little pay or something. You know, there's so many things possible. There's so many helping hands in a tribe. It makes your life so much more easy in many ways. Again, if you are keeping animals, you don't have to rely on yourself just to keep them. You can ask the others to help you out. And in that way, of course, it makes it all easier. Now, of course, in civilization, they want you to be as individualistic as possible. They want you to have your own house filled with all the tools that you only maybe use once a year. And if they broke, you have to buy them yourself. You're not sharing anything with anybody. It's not very smart. It is actually the worst that you can do. But of course, they want to do that. They want to separate you from other people. They want you to be as lonely as possible, as individualistic as possible, as helpless as possible. Of course, the government, the elites, they want you to suffer and do everything by yourself. Live in stress the whole time and worry about paying rents, consuming all these tools that you need, and not being part of a community. So yes, of course, it's in the benefit of the government, the elites, that you are doing everything by yourself. That you are living by yourself, that you are buying all the tools yourself, everything that you need yourself, all the costs are for yourself, and that you don't share with anybody, anything. And any sharing option that comes in existence, for example, Airbnb, Uber, they quickly take over and they make it into a corporation so that eventually there's still no sharing possible. So you really have to do it yourself. You really have to start looking for families that want to build this tribe with you. And you have to find people that are similar in thinking and in behaving, so that you don't get into any conflicts. But the less you need, the less materialistic you become as a person, the less you are also going to be into trouble. And it's a very wonderful way of living. If you share everything, if you share everything with the other families, for example, the plot of land that you live on, you build together multiple houses. The Amish do this as well. They help each other, they build houses for new families, and in that way you become independent and you live stress-free. So you will live longer, healthier, happier, and it's a very smart thing to do. It's very beneficial to be in a tribe. A tribe is the most beneficial that you can think of. The most beneficial way of living. That's why the government is making so much propaganda against it. When you say tribe, people are directly, first thing that they've been indoctrinated to say is that brings a lot of war, that brings a lot of fighting, etc. It's totally nonsense. It's totally government propaganda. Has nothing to do with how a tribe works. That's nice. I think that's the street plan of old city of Baku. So yes, tribe life is very beneficial. It's the most beneficial that you can find. And I recommend to start living like this if you want to live stress-free in the most optimal way possible. So that was it for today. From BAKU, Azerbaijan. I say thank you for watching. And see you next time.